Alright guys, so this homework is all about cells. So when we talk about cells in this class, we're going to talk about mainly eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. And kind of to simplify this, there's two types of eukaryotic cells that we'll mention, and that's going to be plant and animal cells. And then normally if we're talking about any kind of prokaryotic cell in this class, it'll typically be bacteria. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare and contrast the different types of cells in this, because you'll need that knowledge in order to do the homework and answer questions on the test. So let's first start with prokaryotic cells and what's individual to them, so what they don't share with anyone else. So something unique about prokaryotic cells is that they're unicellular, which means that they just have one cell, whereas plant and animals, we know, have multiple cells. Also, a thing to note is that prokaryotic cells are smaller than eukaryotic cells. So that's another important thing to just know. You don't have to necessarily know the exact size, just know that prokaryotic is smaller. So now let's talk about some things that are unique to eukaryotic cells, but both plant and animals share that. So I hope that that makes sense to you. It should once we get it all up here. So all eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. So both plant and animal cells contain a nucleus. They are multicellular, and they have mitochondria. So those are the three, and take note that these aren't all the things, all the qualities of the cells. These are just some of the important ones that I want to highlight, especially specifically with this homework. So those are the similarities, what's different from eukaryotic and prokaryotic, but something that the animal and plant cells share. So now let's talk about what eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells have in common. So I'm going to kind of try to squeeze all of these together here. So purple represents every kind of cell that we talk about contains this. So I should have dragged this one up first. DNA. That's something that all cells contain. That's going to be one of the most important ones to know, that every single cell's got DNA. Also, another very important one is the cytoplasm. Some other ones, plasma membrane, or cell membrane, you might hear it called. They all participate, I guess you could say, in cellular respiration, and they all contain ribosomes. So these purple ones are things that are shared between all types of cells in this class. So then lastly, we're going to talk about differences within the eukaryotic cells between plant and animals. So the only difference that we're really going to highlight that is unique to animal cells is that they have centrioles. So that's really the only one that you need to worry about for this. There's a couple that we'll point out for plants. Plants go through photosynthesis, whereas we know animals don't. They have chloroplasts, and they have a cell wall. So that last one in particular is going to be important. So in the purple, we have cell membrane or plasma membrane, which all of them have, but only plants have a cell wall. So I've got this little graphic. Hopefully this helps you to understand as well. So it's color coordinated with everything. So blue is obviously, you can tell, unique to animal. Green, unique to plant. Red is shared between those, which is all eukaryotic. Purple is all cells, and then the orange is the things that are just unique to prokaryotic cells. So take a minute, stop, pause it on this screen, go through these things, make sure you know these things. It's not good enough just to read it. You need to have this kind of memorized in the back of your head, the basics of this. So this should be enough for you to be able to complete this homework, and if you really know these things, it should be helpful for you on the test.